it right quick. Let me check the stream. Shalom, shalom. All right, we good, man. So, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Barakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect 144,000 men pushing truth to whole hearts and city across the four winds. All right. Shai Quab from the GMS Germany camp back with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. All right. This lesson is called Everything Comes from God. All right. Even pain. All right. So let's get into it, man. When people in the world go through pain, they immediately think something has gone wrong. They think, that God has abandoned them. They think that God cursed them, or forgot about them. But the scriptures, the scriptures reveal something else. Okay, the scriptures reveal that the Heavenly Father controls light and darkness. He controls blessings and judgment. He controls healing and suffering. He controls what happens. Nothing in this world goes down without the approval of the Heavenly Father. All right. So this is Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. All right. So this just shows you right here that that war and peace and good and bad, affliction, it's like it all comes from the Heavenly Father. So when you lose money, when you lose your woman, you get sick, your mind is under pressure, your friends betray you, demons attacking you, the plans that you so-called had collapse. That's not outside of the Heavenly Father. That actually came from him. Why? Because pressure reveals loyalty, impurities. When you're down and out, it shows you what you're really about. All right. This is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1 to 5. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right. And you got to understand, this is not saying that it's going to be comfort. It's not saying that it's going to be nice. It's going to be easy. It's promising tribulation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. And that it's all about that spiritual growth. Because the Heavenly Father wants endurance. He wants that ability to keep going. All right. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay. So the point is, gold can't become pure without going through fire. All right. And the elect are no different. The elect are the Lord's gold, so they have to go through something to remove that impurity from them. All right. Pain is a fire. Affliction is a fire. And the Most High burns off pride, fear, ego, lust, emotional weakness, dependence on the world, and unbeliefs. Okay? The Heavenly Father does these things through what? Through fire. Burning these things out of you. Okay? This is Job chapter 5 and verse 17. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore, despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. All right? What is that showing you right there? Correction is actually mercy. The world thinks love means constant approval. The world thinks love means, just accepting everything. Love is actually being able to tell somebody the truth. Tell them the truth about themselves. That's love. That's love right there. Love is being honest. Love is telling somebody when they're overweight and unhealthy that they're overweight and unhealthy. Not, oh, you're doing good, girl. If they don't like you, fuck them. Then she died next year. Talking about, I don't know why she died so fast. It's a shame. You do know why she died. She had a bad eating habit. She had a fucking eating disorder. And you didn't help her out. You said you loved her. You said you loved her, but you didn't tell her the truth. And that's the thing. The Heavenly Father, when the truth hurts, that's another thing too, bro. The truth hurts, but it's supposed to. Truth hurts. When you fuck up, like for example, I remember when I was younger and I didn't brush my teeth and I went to school. And this girl, I was talking to her. I was like whispering to her, and she was like, "Your breath stinks," and it it fucked me up. But you know what it made me do? It made sure I brushed my goddamn teeth every day before I went to school. It made sure that I was in another level of my hygiene was on another level. That's what it did do. All right. It made sure that I was ready. Okay. It made sure that I wasn't just bullshitting pretty much. That I took those steps to make sure that that wouldn't happen again to me. So by receiving that truth, that correction, I became better. That's why I brought that out. So the Heavenly Father, he makes us go through things to make us go better, make us get better. I say go better, get better. Okay. Let's read it again. Behold, happy is the man whom the Lord correcteth. You see why? Because that means correction is love. If 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 the Lord stops correcting the man completely, that man is finished. That man's gonna die. All right. Sons get corrected. If your son is fucking up, you're not gonna correct him. But if you got a bastard that you don't care about, they get ignored. They get ignored. The stepchild get ignored. You know what I mean? This is Hebrews 12 and 6 and 11. 6 to 11. All right. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. The word scourgeth means whipping, affliction, pressure. The Heavenly Father deals with his chosen through suffering, because suffering shows what? Discipline. It produces discipline. And you can't tell me it doesn't. All right. In the military, in team sports, in the job, in self-training, everything. When you scourge yourself and put yourself through the ringer, what happens on the end of that? You become stronger. All right. And through those things like going to the gym, you have to show discipline. Going to work, you have to show discipline. Those things are chastening. All right. And they make you stronger. So the Heavenly Father says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Now, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. You see? Pain does not feel good while you are inside of it, but afterwards, nevertheless, afterward, it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. You see? The suffering produces righteousness. No fake righteousness, no social media's righteousness, real spiritual discipline. And that's what we have to do. And that's what we're going through. That's what we're exuding. You ask for discipline, you ask for strength, you ask for the ability to stand and preach his word. Well, then you're going to go through things. You're going to go through things. It's not going to be easy. All right. Sadness of the heart is of the Lord, man. All right. You can be happy, and then the Lord will be like, make you remember. Make you remember everything. He'll let you get little slices of peace and happiness. But this place, this life it's not for love, man. It's for pain, it's for suffering, it's for affliction. Why? Because Esau, the wicked, are in rule. Okay? So this place is not for us to enjoy, and this is for Esau. And he's enjoying this fucking wicked ass place. Even with everything going down, everything getting turned upside down, everybody's talking about destruction, the days that's coming. Days that's coming, man. We don't know. You might not have water. You might not have food. You might not. I know what I got. I got Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Arakakadash. Dawud Abanaw, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. May he keep us. May he keep the men that sacrifice everything for him, man. May he keep the men that are willing to die for this truth. You know, and it's easier to say. It's easy to say. It's very easy to say, but when you put your life on the line for fucking Esau's military, you know, I want to have that. I have that fire burning to put my life on the line for the Lord as well. You know, this is Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord Yahweh, thy power, led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart. You see? So when the people, the Israelites were taken out of slavery, right, in the wilderness for 40 years, they wandered. Do you know in the wilderness to walk around in circles, man? I seen that show Survivor, but it was like one where they had women and men and they let them separate. And the women were literally walking in circles for hours, man. And they started to attack each other because they couldn't get out of this. They didn't know what to do. So they just kept walking in circles and circles. They lost water, they lost food, they lost those were hardships. What? To prove them, to show them that this not for you. It's not for you. You need men. All right. The wilderness was a test. The Lord Yahweh intentionally put Israel through hardships to reveal what was truly inside them. Why? Because they were murmuring. All right. They were like, man, we should. Are you serious? Are you serious? Why did we leave slavery to walk around in the in the desert for 40 years? 40 years walking around. Lord, it's terrible, man. It's terrible, man. That's my whole life. It's my whole life, man. Deuteronomy 8 and 2. All right. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord Yahweh thy power led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart. All right. Pain reveals loyalty too, if you think about that. You know, and Esau, he showed you that. How? Through his fucking interrogation tactics. All right. How he trained his people, his CIA operatives and his spies and his special forces and all his people that he get to do all dirty type of fucking shit across the world. They go through this type of training where, like, torture training, waterboarding and isolation and extreme cold and, you know, and what is it? They're trying to break them, to break their loyalty to them by pain and suffering. All right. So does not pain and suffering show loyalty? Yes, it does. It does. And the Heavenly Father's proven our loyalty to him. All right. He proves our loyalty through pain. He proves our loyalty through suffering. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 5 to 6. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. This having been a little chastised, they were greatly rewarded. All right. So this little chastising that we're going through, it seems like it's big because why? Because we're in this bullshit ass flesh, in this fake ass bullshit Esau reality. All right. Whereas everything that happens is the worst. It's the most insane and this and this and this. You know? Found them worthy for himself. So we're worthy for the shelf, you know? Like this, I be thinking, like, if you think about it, like how we are to the Heavenly Father, like this is like, you know, like how I got this and I just sit it right here, you know, like this one's dope, man. This dude did, you know, I like how I handled that one right there, how I designed that. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna put them right here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take them with me wherever I go. So when people see me, I'm like, look at this one, look at this one. That's how I be feeling like the Lord is with us. Heavenly Father, how he shows us off. And Yahweh Shai. All right. He's like, oh, yeah, put him through something. Look at the book of Job, man. The book of Job tells us exactly how the Lord allows men to be tested. Okay? Having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace, he hath tried them and received them as a burnt offering. See? You see? Gold, fire, purification. It's like it keeps repeating that stuff because suffering is part of the process of becoming spiritually acceptable to the Heavenly Father in these last days. All right? We have to become spiritually acceptable. And we've been living in a place where we were spiritually dead, then we were spiritually wicked, then we were spiritually confused, spiritual whoredom. All those things that we've accumulated over the times, they got to be flushed out of that system. You know? This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High. All right? And if not, we already proved to you what that means. You see? So, and we know all things work together for good to them that love the Most High. So, everything works together. This body sees destruction and suffering, but the Lord sees building and something greater underneath. Sometimes he may break you down because that old version of you cannot enter to the next level of spirituality, man. You know, you got to learn something. You gotta break. You gotta. It's like that caterpillar shed that new, that new and become a new thing. Sometimes it breaks us down because that old version cannot it needs to be purged away. You know, it's this 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7 to 10. All right. Mm, my grace. Let me pull this up right quick because I wrote my notes down here. So let me. This is 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. So like it. Um, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me. Nah, man, this so like it. I can't really read this one so good. Hold on. Go to that blue letter. I have them open. Okay. This is 2 Corinthians, and the subtitle is called "A Thorn in the Flesh." A thorn, like a splinter, you know, is you touch. Think about it. You touch a rose bush, and the thorn is stuck in there. You know, not just stick you, and you're like, oh shit. No, it's stuck in there. All right, and you ever had a splinter or anything? If you touch it, it's a bothersome thing. All right, it's a painful thing to you. It doesn't let you have peace. It doesn't let you have rest. All right, a thorn in the flesh is not something that's funny or good. All right, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7. Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh. So unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelations. So he like, man, I started and least I should lest I so like it's like he's saying through all the revelations that he had, he could be exalted high. He could be feeling himself. All right. But there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that I might depart, that it might depart from me. So he was praying to the Lord that this thing that he's going through goes away. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in my weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glorify in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. So he said, the grace that the Heavenly Father has given me, is sufficient. All right. So the fact that he acknowledged you is sufficient. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Our strength is made perfect in weakness. Why? Because we are made perfect. When we're at the weak, we become strong. When we're at our weakest point, our weakest state, what do we lean upon? Who do we call on? All right. Listen, that name, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, those names are very powerful, man. Especially when you have the faith and the belief behind it. Those names are very powerful because you're calling on the Lord. He hears you. All right. Do you understand that you know the secret code to text the Lord? Let me say it like that, man. You know the secret code to text the Lord. All right. Verse 10, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities. I take pleasure in things that fuck me up, that make me sad, that bring me down, that make me get pissed off, in reproaches, people hating me, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. You see? You see? We are strong because we have something that is right there that we can run to and hold on to and love and hold. And that's what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, his name, this faith, this truth, the brotherhoods, the behoods, This is Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 31. For the Lord will not cast off forever, but though he cause grief, yet he will have compassion according to the multitudes of his mercies. You see? The Lord will not cast off forever. So he's going to put you through something, but it ain't going to last forever. All right? But though he cause grief, yet he will have compassion according to the multitudes of his mercies. Yes. So he's going to put you through something, but he's going to give you what you deserve. He's going to ease up. Just like when you are in charge and you put your little football team or whatever your team through stuff to make them get better, and at the end you ease up. It's the same way. It's the same with the Heavenly Father. All right. For he doth not afflict wittingly nor grieve the children of men, meaning he's not out there doing it for meanness, cruelty. There's a purpose behind the tribulation and the things that you go through. Okay. This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 5. Romans chapter 5 and verse 3. Tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. This is a spiritual construction, So climb. That's pretty much all of my precepts that I had, man. So let me close it out with a little thing that I wrote. Every scar, every betrayal, every humiliation, every sleepless night, every mental battle, every loss, every painful season was all allowed by Yahweh. Not because he hates you, not because he hates his servants, not because he doesn't care. It's because he's refining them. A sword cannot be forged without fire. Gold cannot become pure without heat, and the elect cannot become perfected without suffering. The pain is not random. The pain is training. The pain is examination. The pain is purification. When affliction comes, Do not immediately ask, why me? Instead, ask, what is it, Yahweh, you're trying to remove from me? What impurity is being burned away? What lesson must I learn? How is this preparing for me? How is this preparing me? Because the Heavenly Father is creating a nation of disciplined, purified, spiritual, hardened servants. And that requires fire. That requires tribulation. That requires pain. So with that, I hope this was edifying. And again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Arakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and taught us his truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, the 144,000 men pushing the truth and wholehearted and sincerity across the four winds. Until next time, Shalom.